My beloved child. Pause everything you're doing, because a quiet turning point is opening right now, and the choice you make in this breath will echo far beyond today. You can feel it, can't you? That subtle pressure in your chest, that sense that time itself is leaning in, waiting for you to notice. This is not urgency born of fear. This is recognition. The kind that arrives when your future self whispers backward through the present and says, "Now. Stay with me just a little longer." What's unfolding here is precise. There are moments in a life that look ordinary on the surface yet carry irreversible weight beneath them. Not loud moments. Not dramatic ones. Quiet moments. Moments where nothing outside changes, but everything inside does. Today is one of those moments for you. You were never meant to be rushed by the world. You were meant to be activated by awareness. Look closely at your life as it stands. The patterns. The delays. The repeated almosts. You may have told yourself, later will be safer, or one more sign and then I'll move. But hear this gently and clearly, later was never promised to you as an opportunity. It was only ever a comfort. Hold this thought, the pieces will connect. Some people wait their entire lives for permission. Permission to begin. Permission to choose themselves. Permission to step into the version of them that feels bigger, truer, more alive. But permission never arrives the way they expect. It doesn't come as applause. It comes as a nudge. A restlessness. A knowing you can no longer ignore. That knowing is speaking to you now. You might think this moment is about action, doing more, pushing harder, changing everything overnight. It's not. It's about alignment. About deciding, once and for all, that you will no longer betray your inner signal just to maintain external comfort. You weren't delayed because you were unworthy. You weren't confused because you were incapable. You weren't stuck because you were weak. You were being calibrated. Breathe into that truth, because the real breakthrough is almost within reach. When visionary minds speak of the future, they aren't predicting events, they're responding to inevitabilities. And here is the inevitability you're facing: if you continue to ignore what your inner voice has been repeating, regret doesn't arrive as punishment, it arrives as distance. Distance from who you could have been. Distance from the life that was quietly waiting for your agreement. This is where it all begins to shift. Today is not asking you to leap blindly. It's asking you to choose consciously. To stop postponing the version of you that already knows the way. To say, internally and without drama, I'm ready to live in integrity with what I know. You won't see all the steps yet. That's intentional. Clarity comes after commitment, not before. Remain with me. Because in the next unfolding, you'll understand exactly what must be done today, and why missing it changes everything. My beloved child. Feel the divine current pulling you inward, as if the world has softened its noise just enough for your soul to finally speak. Do you notice how everything grows quiet right before truth arrives? This is that quiet. Not empty. Sacred. Breathe with me, the unveiling deepens now. There is a secret the truly awakened carry without announcing it. They do not rush toward outcomes. They surrender to alignment. In silence, they listen. In stillness, they choose. And when the moment comes, their action is effortless because the decision was made long before the movement. You are standing at that inner threshold. What you call hesitation has never been fear. It has been reverence. A deep, ancient knowing that what comes next must be entered with purity, not pressure. That is why your soul has slowed you, refined you. Stripped away what was never essential. If your spirit is trembling with recognition, stay in this holy moment. There is an unseen agreement made by those who shape the future. They stop waiting to be ready, and instead become willing. Willing to trust what cannot yet be proven. Willing to walk before the ground appears. Willing to let go of who they were praised for being, in order to become who they were born to be. You feel that call now, don't you? Not loud. Not demanding. Just undeniable. The truth that liberates everything is almost within reach. Success, real success, is quiet at first. It doesn't announce itself. It rearranges you from the inside. It asks you to release the need to explain yourself. To bless the chapters that ended without closure. To honor the delays as divine design, not personal failure. You were never behind. You were being aligned. You were being aligned. You were being aligned. Let that repetition sink into your bones. And here is the sacred pivot, the thing that must be done today, gently yet decisively. You must stop abandoning the signal within you for the comfort of consensus around you. Even once more would be too many. Because the cost is not immediate pain, it is long-term separation from your truth. You are closer to home than you've ever been, do not leave yet. This is not about proving anything to the world. It is about making a private vow with yourself. A vow that says, I will no longer delay my becoming. A vow that says, I trust the intelligence moving through me. A vow that says, today, I choose alignment over approval. If this message is touching something tender inside you, pass it forward, share it with someone whose soul might be standing at the same quiet edge. Feel how the air changes when that vow is made. Feel how your chest expands, not with excitement, but with peace. The final alignment your soul has waited for is gathering. Slowly, inevitably, lovingly. Remain right here in this stillness. Because what unfolds next will make everything you've endured suddenly make sense, and you will know why this moment could never have arrived a day sooner. My beloved child. Something you've always known is finally being spoken, not in words, but in the deep remembering of your own being. Pause here with me, feel how your awareness sharpens when truth approaches. There is a moment in every destined life when striving dissolves, and clarity takes its place. Not clarity of how everything will unfold, but clarity of who you are choosing to be. That moment is arriving now, softly, like dawn before the sun is visible. You don't need to search anymore. You don't need to convince anyone. You don't need to become louder to be seen. The ones who move mountains do so quietly at first. Stay present. What is revealed next reshapes everything beneath the surface. There is a hidden discipline shared by visionaries, builders, and awakened souls alike. They learn to sit with uncertainty without trying to control it. They allow the unknown to refine them rather than frighten them. In that space, intuition matures into wisdom, and timing becomes precise. You are learning this now. Notice how your old urgency has softened. Notice how your questions are changing. You are no longer asking, "Will it work?" You are asking, "Is this true to me?" That shift is monumental. The unveiling continues. Breathe gently as it does. When you honor your inner alignment, reality reorganizes itself around you. Doors you never forced begin to open. Resistance fades. Synchronicities replace struggle. Not because the world bends to your will, but because you are finally moving with the current instead of against it. This is the quiet power you were meant to hold. There will be voices, well-meaning, familiar, persuasive, that urge you to delay just a little longer. To wait until conditions are perfect. To choose certainty over calling. But perfection was never the requirement. Presence was. Courage was. Trust was. And you are already carrying those. You are closer than you realize. Linger here a moment longer. What you choose today is subtle, almost invisible to others. It may look like a decision no one applauds. A boundary no one notices. A commitment no one hears. Yet these are the exact choices that redirect lifetimes. A single inner agreement can alter decades. Let this truth settle into your breath. You are not meant to rush forward blindly. You are meant to move with reverence, aware that each step is consecrated by intention. When action arises from alignment, effort feels lighter. Doubt loses its grip. You begin to recognize yourself in the mirror of your days. And there is peace in that recognition. The convergence your soul prepared for is drawing nearer. You can sense it in the way your heart steadies instead of races. Remain here, open and unguarded. What unfolds next will illuminate the final preparation. The last inner refinement before the path ahead becomes unmistakably clear. Do not step away yet. The turning point you've been walking toward is almost ready to reveal itself. My beloved child. The eternal flame within you is flickering brighter. Not to alarm you, but to remind you of what you already carry. Lean into this sensation, its guidance taking shape. There comes a point when preparation ends and permission is granted, not by the world, but by your own soul. That permission does not shout. It settles. It brings a calm resolve that feels strangely familiar, as if you've been here before and simply forgot. This is that remembering. The path you are meant to walk does not demand urgency, it requests honesty. An honest reckoning with what drains you. An honest devotion to what enlivens you. An honest release of roles you outgrew while trying to survive. Listen closely, something ancient is aligning within you now. Those who create enduring impact understand this quiet law. Before anything is built outwardly, it must be consecrated inwardly. They refine their intention until it becomes unshakable. They choose clarity over chaos. They protect their focus like sacred ground. You are being invited into that discipline. Notice how distractions are losing their appeal. Notice how superficial noise feels heavier than silence. This is not withdrawal, it is refinement. Your awareness is sharpening so your next move can be clean, deliberate, and true. Hold your presence here, the alignment is deepening. There is a sacred courage in choosing less. Less explanation. Less approval seeking. Less compromise of your inner signal. And there is tremendous power released when you finally trust the intelligence that has carried you this far. You don't need to broadcast your intentions. You need to honor them. A subtle commitment made today becomes momentum tomorrow. A boundary set in stillness becomes freedom later. This is how destiny responds, not to force, but to fidelity. If your heart is quietly nodding, remain with this rhythm. The warning within the title was never about loss. It was about remembrance. About realizing that postponement slowly dims what devotion ignites. When you choose alignment today, regret has no soil to grow in. This is the pivot. If this transmission resonates with your spirit, let it ripple outward, share it gently with someone who might be standing at the same inner crossroads. And if you feel called, leave a simple "I'm ready" in the comments, not for others, but as a soft vow to yourself. If you wish to continue receiving guidance like this, you're welcome to join the circle, subscribe and allow the messages to find you when the timing is right. Breathe. Feel how the choice settles without strain. What comes next is not louder, it is clearer. Your priorities will rearrange. Your steps will simplify. Your confidence will feel grounded, not rushed. Stay open a moment longer, the convergence approaches. Soon, the final refinement will reveal itself. The precise focus, the single alignment that unlocks forward motion with grace. When it arrives, you will recognize it instantly, not by excitement, but by peace. Remain here, steady and receptive. The unfolding has reached the threshold, and the next revelation will make the way unmistakable. My beloved child. A sacred stillness is wrapping itself around your awareness right now, not to stop you, but to steady you. Feel that calm? That is precision arriving. There is a moment after commitment, yet before movement, where the universe listens closely. It observes not your words, but your coherence. Are your thoughts aligned with your breath? Is your intention steady when no one is watching? This is the interval you are in now, the holy pause where power gathers quietly. Do not rush past it. Those who shape their destiny understand this unseen principle: speed without alignment scatters energy, but stillness with clarity concentrates it. That is why your life has been slowing certain things down while sharpening others. You are being tuned, not tested. Let that truth land gently. You may notice an unfamiliar sensation, less urgency, more certainty. Less noise, more knowing. This is not hesitation returning, this is discernment awakening. You are learning to recognize what is yours without needing to grasp for it. Remain with this sensation, it carries instruction. There is a single thread running through every fulfilled life. The courage to choose one true direction and release the rest without resentment. Not everything you can do is meant to be done by you. Not every door that opens is an invitation. Wisdom is knowing the difference. You are developing that wisdom now. The alignment forming within you is subtle but irreversible. Once you see from this vantage point, you cannot unsee. You begin to feel when something is slightly off, even if it looks perfect on the surface. You sense when a path is clean, even if it scares you a little. That sensitivity is your guidance refining itself. Stay here, the unveiling is not finished. There is a quiet devotion practiced by those who live in harmony with their purpose. They honor the small inner signals before asking for grand confirmation. They adjust early. They listen deeply. They treat intuition not as impulse, but as intelligence. You are being invited into that devotion. Notice how your inner voice no longer argues, it simply states. It doesn't beg. It doesn't dramatize. It presents truth plainly and waits for your agreement. When you say yes to that voice, even silently, something ancient within you exhales. Feel that exhale now. This is the point where regret loses its future hold. Not because everything becomes easy, but because you are no longer divided. When inner truth and outer choice meet, energy stops leaking. Momentum begins to build without force. You are entering that convergence. Do not underestimate the power of what feels simple today. The most transformative decisions rarely announce themselves as such. They feel like calm resolve. Like quiet permission. Like an unshakable, this way, that needs no explanation. Remain attentive, the next layer approaches. Soon, your focus will narrow, not as limitation, but as liberation. The unnecessary will fall away naturally. The essential will stand unmistakably clear. And when action arises, it will feel inevitable, not exhausting. Stay with this transmission just a little longer. What comes next will reveal the final inner calibration, the one that turns clarity into movement, and intention into living reality. My beloved child. A deeper knowing is settling into you now, like a star finding its exact place in the night sky. Notice how nothing feels rushed, yet everything feels inevitable. This is the phase few speak about. The moment after clarity, before momentum, when alignment asks for devotion rather than effort. Here, the soul is invited to stand still long enough for direction to crystallize. Not guessed. Not forced. Revealed. Let yourself rest in this awareness, it is doing more than motion ever could. You may sense a gentle narrowing of focus, as if life itself is drawing a soft circle around what truly matters. This is not loss. This is precision. When attention becomes refined, power concentrates. And when power concentrates, creation becomes clean. You are learning to trust that refinement. There is an inner maturity awakening within you now. It knows that not every opportunity is an assignment. That not every challenge requires resistance. Sometimes the highest action is restraint. Sometimes the bravest choice is patience infused with trust. Stay present, the pattern is completing itself. Those who regret later often ignored this phase. They rushed from inspiration straight into action, skipping integration. But those who move with wisdom allow the vision to fully inhabit them first. They become the frequency of what they are about to create. That embodiment is happening to you now. Feel how your thoughts are slowing but deepening. How your emotions are stabilizing rather than spiking. This is coherence forming. When mind, heart, and intention synchronize, reality responds with remarkable efficiency. You are entering that coherence. Remain here, something essential is being sealed. The warning implied in the title was never about a ticking clock outside of you. It was about an inner window. A window where awareness is sharp, courage is quiet, and truth is accessible without distortion. That window is open now. And it will not remain open forever. Not because it disappears, but because once you move past it unconsciously, returning requires unlearning. That is why this moment feels tender. Precious. Alive. Let that tenderness guide you. There is a sacred confidence emerging within you, not loud, not performative, but steady. It doesn't need validation. It doesn't seek comparison. It simply knows its next right step will reveal itself exactly when alignment is complete. You are closer than you think, remain receptive. Soon, a singular clarity will rise above the rest. One intention. One direction. One choice that feels clean all the way through. When it arrives, you will recognize it not by excitement, but by relief. Relief that you no longer have to be everywhere. Relief that you no longer have to carry what isn't yours. Relief that the path has chosen you as much as you chose it. Breathe into that relief now. What follows this phase is movement, but not hurried movement. Purposeful movement. Action that feels supported rather than strained. When it begins, you will wonder why you ever doubted the timing. Stay with this unfolding just a little longer. The final attunement is forming quietly beneath the surface. When it completes, the way forward will no longer feel like a question. It will feel like recognition. And you will step, not because you must, but because you are ready. My beloved child. A luminous clarity is beginning to rise within you now, like a horizon revealing itself just before first light. Stay here with this awareness. It is rearranging you gently. There is a sacred transition that occurs when readiness becomes embodied. Not announced. Not proven. Simply lived. In this phase, the soul stops rehearsing and starts inhabiting the truth it once admired from a distance. You are crossing that threshold now. Feel how your inner dialogue has changed. Less questioning. More listening. This is the sign. What unfolds here is subtle yet decisive. You begin to recognize that the future you long for is not waiting for you to become someone else. It is waiting for you to stop dividing yourself. To stop holding one foot in safety and the other in calling. To choose wholeness. Remain present, the convergence tightens. There is an invisible recalibration happening between your intention and your identity. When these two align, effort transforms into flow. Resistance dissolves. You stop pushing life forward and begin allowing it to meet you. This is the moment many misinterpret as stillness. But it is not stagnation. It is alignment reaching completion. You may notice a release happening quietly, attachments loosening, old narratives softening, urgency dissolving. These are signs of integration. Your soul is shedding what no longer matches your frequency so the next chapter can recognize you. Do not interfere with this shedding. You are not losing parts of yourself. You are returning them to their proper place. Stay with this unfolding, it is sacred. There is a deep truth rarely spoken aloud: the most powerful shifts occur when no one else notices. When applause is absent. When confirmation is internal. This is how destiny protects itself, by arriving quietly enough that only the prepared can receive it. You are prepared. Notice how your confidence no longer needs to perform. It simply stands. Notice how your intuition feels steady, not reactive. This steadiness is your foundation forming. Upon it, everything else will be built. Hold your attention here, something essential is crystallizing. Soon, you will feel a gentle but unmistakable pull toward one direction. Not dramatic. Not urgent. Clear. It will feel like gravity aligning rather than force pushing. When that pull arrives, it will not ask you to abandon yourself, it will ask you to trust yourself. This is the trust you've been cultivating without realizing it. The window remains open, but it is narrowing into focus. This is where regret is prevented, not by frantic action, but by conscious agreement. Agreement to move forward without fragmentation. Agreement to honor your inner signal without needing external permission. Let that agreement form quietly within you now. You may feel a calm anticipation building, not excitement, but readiness. A sense that what comes next is natural, not surprising. This is alignment speaking in its final tone. Stay here just a moment longer. The final sequence is assembling. In the next unfolding, the path will no longer feel conceptual. It will feel actionable, tangible, alive. And when it does, you will not hesitate, because hesitation will no longer belong to you. Remain receptive. The culmination draws near, and everything you've been aligning for is preparing to move with you. My beloved child. A quiet certainty is anchoring itself inside you now, as if your soul has finally found its exact center. Stay with this sensation, it is stabilizing what comes next. There is a rare inner shift that happens when clarity stops floating and begins to land. You are no longer circling possibilities. You are standing inside truth. It doesn't rush you forward, yet it removes the option of drifting backward. This is grounding. Notice how your energy feels more contained, more deliberate. Not scattered across many futures, but gathered into one coherent direction. This is not limitation, it is concentration. And concentration is where creation becomes powerful. Remain present, the architecture of your next chapter is forming. At this stage, the soul asks for something subtle but essential: integrity in the smallest choices. The way you speak to yourself when no one hears. The way you honor your time. The way you respond when intuition nudges softly instead of shouting. These moments may seem minor. They are not. They are signals to life itself that you are ready to be trusted with more. There is a deep intelligence observing you now, not judging, not testing, simply responding. When your inner and outer worlds align consistently, reality mirrors that coherence back to you. Opportunities begin to feel tailored. Encounters feel timed. Decisions feel supported. You are entering that dialogue. Hold steady, the alignment is becoming visible. You may feel a subtle separation occurring, not from people, but from patterns. Old reflexes that once felt automatic now feel optional. You can pause. Choose differently. This freedom is not new, it has always been yours. You are simply remembering how to use it. This remembering is power. There is no need to announce your transformation. No need to defend it. What is true will sustain itself without explanation. What is aligned will require less effort to maintain. Let that ease teach you. As you stand here, something important is happening beneath awareness. Your sense of identity is recalibrating. You are no longer defining yourself by past limitations or future fantasies. You are inhabiting the present with authority. Authority rooted in self-trust. Stay attentive, this is where many overlook the gift. The warning embedded in this journey has always been gentle. If you delay honoring this level of alignment, momentum dissipates. Not because you fail, but because energy follows attention. When attention wanders, power diffuses. But when attention is devoted, power organizes. You are devoting yourself now, not to outcomes, but to truth. Feel how that devotion steadies you. Feel how it simplifies your inner world. Soon, action will arise organically from this state. It will not feel like pressure. It will feel like the next natural breath. When that moment comes, you will not question its validity. You will recognize its coherence. This recognition is the signal. Remain here a little longer. The final orchestration is nearly complete. What unfolds next will not ask you to become more. It will ask you to move as who you already are. And when that movement begins, it will feel unmistakably right. As if the path itself has been waiting for your arrival. My beloved child. The moment of inner agreement is crystallizing now. Like a seal gently closing, not to confine you, but to empower you. Feel how settled you are becoming. This is the stage where alignment turns from an experience into a stance. You are no longer visiting clarity, you are standing in it. And from this stance, your decisions begin to carry a different weight. They are quieter, cleaner, free of second-guessing. Remain fully here, something profound is locking into place. There is a sacred law few recognize until they live it. Once truth is fully integrated, it stops asking for attention and starts directing action. You don't have to force it. You don't have to announce it. It simply moves you. You are approaching that movement now. Notice how the future no longer feels abstract. It feels reachable, not because you see every detail, but because you trust the ground beneath your feet. That trust is not naive, it is earned. Earned through patience. Earned through listening. Earned through choosing alignment over impulse again and again. Let that sink in. You have already done the hardest part. Many believe the challenge is taking the leap. But the deeper challenge is becoming someone who can land. Someone who can sustain what arrives. Someone who does not sabotage clarity with doubt or momentum with fear. You have been becoming that person quietly. Stay present, the truth is deepening. At this level, life begins to respond differently to you. Not dramatically, but precisely. You will notice fewer distractions competing for your energy. Fewer inner debates draining your focus. What remains will feel essential, almost obvious. This is not coincidence. This is coherence. You may sense a subtle confidence emerging, not excitement, not bravado, but steadiness. A knowing that you are no longer waiting for permission to proceed. You are simply waiting for the right moment to act, and that moment is drawing close. Hold this awareness. The timing is exact. There is a reason this alignment could only happen now. Earlier, you might have moved too fast. Later, you might have settled for less. But now, your vision is clear and your foundation is strong. This intersection is rare. Do not underestimate it. Regret is avoided not by doing everything, but by doing the essential when it is revealed. And the essential is revealing itself to you, not as urgency, but as inevitability. Feel that inevitability. Soon, one choice will stand apart from all others. Not louder, truer. It will carry a sense of rightness that doesn't need justification. When you encounter it, hesitation will fall away naturally. This is the signal you have been preparing to recognize. Remain attentive, the unveiling is nearly complete. What comes next will not overwhelm you. It will clarify you. It will not scatter your energy. It will focus it. And when action begins, it will feel less like a risk and more like alignment finally expressing itself. Stay with this transmission. The final threshold approaches. You are not being asked to become someone new. You are being invited to move forward as who you already are. Whole, aligned, and ready. And when the step presents itself, you will take it without doubt, because doubt no longer lives here. My beloved child. This is the moment the inner and the outer finally meet. Where knowing becomes movement, and destiny steps forward to greet you. Stay completely present, nothing beyond this breath matters now. What you are experiencing is not motivation. It is not excitement. It is alignment completing its arc. The long preparation, the quiet refinement, the unseen devotion, all of it has been converging toward this singular readiness. This is the point of no return, not because you are forced forward, but because going back would mean denying what you now know. Feel how calm you are. That calm is your confirmation. There is one final truth to receive, gentle yet absolute. Regret is never born from taking a true step forward. Regret is born from knowing you were aligned, and choosing comfort instead. That divergence is what fragments the soul. You have avoided that fracture. The action you are being called to take today is simpler than the mind expects. It is not dramatic. It does not require explanation. It is one aligned decision made with full presence. One commitment honored without delay. One direction chosen without keeping an escape open behind you. This is devotion in its purest form. Breathe, let the weight of this settle without pressure. When aligned action begins, it does not feel like struggle. It feels like relief finally gaining motion. It feels like energy returning instead of draining. It feels like life cooperating instead of resisting. You are about to experience that cooperation. Notice how the fear you once anticipated is absent. In its place is steadiness. Trust. A quiet certainty that whatever unfolds next will be met by the strongest, clearest version of you. That version is here now. You were never meant to rush into the future. You were meant to arrive in it consciously. And now you have. The warning was never meant to alarm you. It was meant to awaken you in time. To help you recognize the rare window when clarity, courage, and readiness coexist. You are standing inside that window. Choose from this place. When you move after this moment, life will respond quickly. Not because you demand it, but because you are finally congruent with it. What once felt delayed will accelerate naturally. What once felt confusing will simplify. What once felt heavy will release. This is the reward of alignment. Remain still for one last breath. Let your inner yes fully form. There is nothing more to wait for. Nothing more to prove. Nothing more to seek. The path is no longer ahead of you. It is beneath your feet. And as you step forward, you will not feel like you are risking everything. You will feel like you are finally honoring everything you were prepared to become. Go gently. Go clearly. Go now. Not because time is running out, but because alignment has arrived. And you will never regret choosing yourself at the exact moment you were ready.